Where's my buttons at? Fox Girl. Oh, my music's loud. Hold on. There's a blast from the past. How are you? The joke is that when you do the go live notification, you say something like, so and so mentioned you in chat, and then people show up like, what were you saying about me? Oh no, I mean I didn't explicitly mention you, Fox Girl, if you were worried about that. But I hope you've been well. Let's see. Are you? I can't remember where you were schooling wise, but let's see. This is where what year is the? It's the spring, summer, winter. We're winter. It's been a while. Yeah. How goes all the stuff? How goes learning and growing and existing? Rome. What's up, dog? Because you put a dog picture. I'm alive. 10 days of COVID. Not fun. It was terrible for me. In fact, I'm not even going to be in... I'm going to go to chat mode right now because I'm just getting my life together. And every time I wanted to stream, it wasn't going to happen. It was just not. It wasn't going to happen. Let's see. We'll use the regular Burt's Bees. Vitamin E and peppermint. What is this one? Oh, they're both peppermint. Doesn't matter. Good. Recovering from eye surgery. Like good eye surgery? Like eye surgery that provides you with more visualness? Is it like progressive improvement surgery? The dog is okay. Good. I hope your dog's not having a rough time. For real, yo. My back is hurting. I have my hip brace on, but my back is... sorry you had such a long bout with the vid. Feeling better? Yeah, I still have a little bit. I tested today and it's still, faded. It's not fun. No, it's not fun at all. And Composy had it too. Good eye surgery, yes. A cornea transplant. So what is that? What is that going to bring? Do they anticipate what that's going to bring your vision up to? Is it like 2040? No, 2010, 2015. Life is rough for real. Am I blurry? Feel big. Life is rough for real. He got to lay on the couch at therapy today. It's a rough life at therapy, yeah. Poor dog. Hope it was therapeutic for him. Where'd my... There we go. Anyway. Yeah, I had a really bad I had a really bad bout of COVID. Composy had it, and 5 days later, she started getting a faded line. My line on the test didn't fade until Sunday. I wonder if that long cough throat thing made you more susceptible? Maybe, because I was sick beforehand and I was already weakened. My immune system was fine because I had a blood test on the, my immune system itself is okay, but I guess from a viral perspective, it didn't do a good job. It will bring much greater vision. My doc says everything is crystal clear. My last cornea was very, very blurry. That's nice. That's great. Congratulations, Fox Girl. Will that give you more mobility? Will you be able to do things you couldn't do when you had your blurrier cornea? I thought being sick makes your immune system stronger. Yes, but if you get sick when you're still recovering from being sick, I think I don't think that's really what it is, because I think COVID just affects people differently. And I had the booster and everything. I'm glad I've been vaccinated. I'd hate to see how I reacted without having been vaccinated. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, it's also quite possible that I got it and then I got reinfected because at the time, since Composy and I were both sick, we were just sleeping in the same bedroom, and maybe there was something where I like, for whatever reason, it like reinfected me. I don't know. I don't know. It was not. It wasn't good. Now we have Super Motzi, Super Immune. I hope so. I will say that I got the most sleep I've gotten consecutively in the last 3 years or so, or more. I mean, I legitimately slept 11 to 12 hours every day. That's true. COVID seems to hit everyone different. Yeah, I'm able to see much better. Everything's so vibrant, so sharp. I can see details I couldn't see before. That is fantastic. Well, I'm very happy for you. I know, you've been on the stream a few times in the past, and you talked about some of your eyesight issues. So I'm glad to hear that it's better, and I hope to hear that it gets even better. That's really great. That's really great. And it's not to say, of course, that people who have less vision, they're poorer for it, but I know that any ability you have that gets improved can be helpful. This is legit. I've happy blah 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 blah. It's legit the happiest you've been in a long time. Well, that's good too. Are you are you gonna? How long do you have to recover for it? If you don't mind my asking, like, what's the recovery time before you can, play the piano again? I don't know. You go high speed chases and skydive and stuff. My tea's just a little bit too hot right now. Kind of burning my face. I should be working on things right now, but man, being sick sucks. Like, having energy to do things, it's so crazy how little I was able to do. I still did stuff because I was pretty stubborn. I still wanted to get work done, but my doctor says things are yet to come. He says I can get my stitches out. Oh, stitches in your eyes. Your face. One of my worst experiences, which really didn't actually physically turn out bad, was I had a what is it called? I had a bit of something in my eye that got embedded in my eye. There's a word for an abrasion. I had an abrasion in my eye, but it was like a little piece of something that just blew from the wind and got embedded in my cornea. And so the doctor had to get it out once we finally realized, because it was just, the pain wouldn't go away. And he had to take a needle and flick it out of my eye. And there's nothing more terrifying than looking at a doctor and him saying, keep your eyes open. I think he even put one of those things that holds your eyes open, and bringing a needle to your eye. It's like nightmare fuel. I don't even know how to play the piano. Well, neither do I. I mean, I know a little bit because I used to have aspirations of having, musical talent. Yep, stitches, lots of scratchiness, and foreign body sensations. Yeah, oh, you're right, because it's not your cornea. So your body, you do have to take drugs to convince your body that, the cornea is good. Like, this is a good cornea. Don't get rid of it. Good for you. Hey, Dras, my phone told me you were talking about me. Yeah, I stopped talking a minute ago, though, because we got talking about Fox Girl's cornea. That would be hard because you can't close your eyes or not look. If your body rejects your eye, yeah. You just... yeah, it sucks. And I presume at some point your body hopefully will just accept it and not reject it. Right? Look, hi, I'm Josh Ray. My name's Josh Ray. I'm 37 years old. Wow, are you 37? I do take anti-rejection eye drops. Yeah, I need some anti-rejection life drops. People don't reject me. I'm better. I haven't started coding tonight because we got into discussion about Fox Girl's recent and successful surgery. And we talked about Chrome stock. I have been still getting some work done on Alterium Shift, but step by step. Are you 37 or 38? Oh, that was in response. You're talking about a needle coming in your eye. Sorry, what did you say? Oh, yeah. Right. You have to like stare at the needle coming at your eye. At least it wasn't like a hot needle. But I'd have to wear an eye shield at night. I Captain Ard 86. Well, at least you're not as old as I am. Yeah. 86. Right? You're old. But you're not 42 years old. And I'm turning 43 in April. Every year it just keeps creeping up on you. How do I disable the new battle stuff? There's a switch. Did I leave it on when I committed my code? Sorry about that. Right here. In the game engine, there's use new battle system. Sometimes Jacob acts like he's 86. He's like, "What's that, Sonny? I can't hear you." You don't look a day over 30. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it, but not only am I mean, I know there's bald people that are balding at 30, but like I don't know if it's just the lighting in here, but my hair is not dark. It is, I mean, like I've seen my hair in like my hair is distinctly gray. Yeah. I guess that's also not a good marker because there are people who have gray hair that are 30. I know you're just being nice. Thanks, Fox Girl. Appreciate it. Maybe it's your cornea. It's still like not quite figuring it out. Or it's the internet. Donkey shin. Hey, Laser, how's it going? Donkey shin, darling donkey shin. Yeah, I've been working on battle system stuff on the game. It's aluminum foil that distorts the light. Yeah, there is. I have aluminum. You guys, can I even show you guys this? This is my you can't see it, but you can kind of see it. This is my like reflector to reflect the light, because my little setup here is really difficult to light, and I need it to light the background, but I don't want the light straight on my face, which is like it just fills the face. I know what I see. Been busy, but I have jaw surgery coming up. Jaw surgery. Everyone's having surgery. I feel left out. I should go get some surgery. I've had surgery before, and I've talked about it on my stream. Not going to talk about it now, though. It's not a pleasant story. I've had a couple surgeries in my life. Nothing major though. Nothing like, not like a reattaching a limb or something. That would be. This is a new battle system. Aliens can cause, and I'm working on timing of the. So in the regular battles, all the animation timings work great. But if you see this one, like, well, that worked fine. But if I do an attack on a monster, the damage shows before the attack happens. So there's some timing thing I broke. And then if I use a skill, like if I'm going to use focus shot, I don't know why that takes so long to show up. If I use focus shot, it doesn't do the animation. So I got to figure out what's going on. My dad had surgery to remove weird loose bone. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. You know what's crazy is like kids. So my son didn't have surgery, but he had a spacer in, because his mouth wasn't big enough for his teeth, and they had to like open up his mouth over time to allow the teeth to come in. But have you ever seen pictures like baby or kid skulls? They have all the teeth are just sitting up here in your jaw. It's crazy. Anyway, that's my story. Morning Glory. I actually don't even know how I'm going to fix this problem. There's something really obvious and simple I have to fix with the timing. I just can't I got to figure out like what it is I have to fix. Maybe what I should do is I should look at I hope you guys, you can keep talking. You don't have to stop. You can distract me all you want. As I have moments, because there's lag in the chat, I will work. um, it is something, by the way. It's enough to have to work after work on projects, or even during vacation. It's a whole nether ball game when you're sick and you're sleeping 12-hour days and you're working, and like for a sliver of time before going to bed, you're trying to get some work done. Social interaction, how dare you? I don't care. I don't need it. I've actually I've toyed with this idea that I should, on nights that I'm not actually streaming, I should do like some YouTubers and just record my work. Like I should just record like I'm streaming, but not having someone talk to me, and see if I can produce content people want to watch. I don't think people want to watch the content though. I mean, maybe, but I don't think as many people care about like the code that I'm writing. But maybe if I recorded it and like edited it, it could be something interesting. I don't know. I don't have anything else going on. I'm just working on like a billion projects at once. So I've got time. I wonder if the status message text is the reason for this problem. Like, this is the thing that sets the message that shows up for the status. I can't believe that that's what it really... I don't think that would cause the weirdness. Execute battle command. Display status message. These are just messages. Unless there's like, does it need to have time to execute? Is that what it is? Pre-execute. Ready execute. Maybe it's ready. Hey, SkewQ. Is that how you say it? SkewCal? Scowl? I'm sorry. I want to say it right. Squow, or is it like square cow? Like, is SQKOU? Maybe the SQ stands for something. You could do coding tutorials or cool coding tricks. I could just call me SQ. Okay, how's it going, SQ? Oh, it is kind of like the whole thing is SQ. Not everybody likes my coding. I watched I know that the one thing you have to take with a grain of salt, if you ever watch a YouTube tutorial of someone telling you how to code, you have to keep in mind that they're also creating content that they want you to watch. And when I watch it, I get on my YouTube recommendations every once in a while, these things about like a never nester, which sounds like a never nude. Like a never nester. I'll never nest my code. And like these like really hard rules that they say this is how you should code. I just get such a kick out of it. I just get such a kick. Like, first off, because someone who puts a comment like, I'm a never nester and I write code where I never nest anything. They do all these weird mental leaps to justify why they code that way, which is fine. You can code that way, but they're doing it in a way that's like, here's how you should code, which arguably I'd say is not really what you should do. I mean, you can do whatever you want. People can do whatever they want, but and then they show examples where they do nest their code. They just minimize it, which is fine. Like, that's a fine. I just get such a chuckle out of that kind of content. I actually coded a keylogger today, not for a malicious purpose, but for a computer class. It just tells you how scarily fast malware can be coded. Yeah, well, and there's an advantage and disadvantage. One advantage is a lot of the malware that's coded is done by people who don't know how to do it very well. And so it's easier for antivirus software to protect you against. And someone who, it's like this great power comes great responsibility. Someone who truly can write code very well, they might write malicious code, but I'm guessing the percentages of those people are less because they can be lucrative in other ways, right? Um. Anyway. Sorry. It's. I think that there needs to be incidentally, they're not poor teachers. Let me be clear. The people who write this code, they do good videos, and people comment on their videos, and they talk about how, yes, I agree with you. Wow, this was great. I got a lot of value out of it. Take away with whatever you want. My point isn't that I think those people are bad. I get a kick out of it because I also see a little bit of myself as a younger developer where I have these really hard rules and you must follow them. And there are things that I still expect as practice from my developer. And if I'm working with people, I expect certain standards for at least a level of consistency, and I have reasoned logic. However, it doesn't mean that the people who write code in a different way are bad or wrong. And there's plenty of people who don't follow any standards who have been, really successful. I saw this Reddit. I'm not coding right now. I'm gonna go back to chat. I'm gonna try to be cognizant of if I'm not coding, I'm not gonna leave my code up because it's just sitting there doing nothing. There's this Reddit picture that made fun of Toby Fox. My dog is going potty. Oh no! Well, at least your dog's getting it out. Better out than in. Toby Fox, wasn't a great coder. Toby Fox is the person who made Undertale, and yet, they weren't a good coder, and they a lot of their different situations that happened just like a bunch of case statements, which is what you actually saw on my screen is like switch case. And so someone was making fun of that, but then the response was, yeah, and Toby's rich, right? So it doesn't matter whether Toby had a good programming practice. Toby was successful. You don't need to be a pro coder. If you desire to improve how you write code, then there are ways to do that. What I don't like is the arrogant attitude that's my philosophical belief on code is the way, and if you don't do it this way, you're wrong, right? That's what bothers me. And not even all those people who write things like the Never Nester, they don't always imply that they're right and everyone else is wrong. But they certainly do have strong statements as to why they're right. And in most of their arguments are missing the point. Because, and I'll show you guys this, a quote unquote Never Nester, right? So they'd be fine with my code here. But a Never Nester would take something where you're if var my condition equals false. If my condition, this isn't valid code because this is always going to be true, right? Or it's always going to be false, right? But if it's not, whatever. And then you do something, you do some code, and then what a lot of people would end up doing is having a return here, and then another return afterward, or something, right? Get your beauty sleep. All right, Fox Girl. I hope that your eyes keep healing. I hope you have a great night. Thanks for stopping in. And when you get a chance, let me know how it's going. I'd love to hear how your healing is in your sight. So this isn't an example of legitimate code, right? But most of the people who do these videos cherry pick an example that fits their model. They say, here's an example. Now let me tell you why this example is wrong and how to fix it, right? And all I'm doing is demonstrating sort of what a quote unquote Never Nester would do. I want to get rid of this nesting. So instead what I'm going to do is I kind of made it already, but you do a lot of stuff here. And so what they would do instead is they would still do an if statement, but instead what they would do is they would just return out, if the condition isn't met at the top. They call that a guard clause. Guard clauses are things that I don't like. I think guard clauses are ways to be lazy as a developer, but I also don't care if people want to use it. I'm just telling you what I think about it, right? To me, a guard clause problem is you end up with multiple. You can have like multiple things like this, where you end up with like 3 or 4 different returns at the top of your method before you even get into what the code is supposed to do. I started learning C++ 4 days, and I like to watch tutorials, and damn, there's so many tutorials where the guy doesn't explain correct theories too fast. Yeah, and you have to like go back to the video and like pause it, and then like read the code, and then compare and contrast. And well, I mean, and you know, SQ, writing scripts and recording videos for tutorials is also very hard. If you're doing an actual tutorial for code, it's really, really hard, because people that are doing videos, in theory, are also trying to get some visibility, some traction. They want, you know, ideally views and followers. And to appease the general mass of people, you can't have a video that's very long. And then you try and truncate it down so that it becomes something that will get more visibility. You have to necessarily skip steps or go quickly through certain things. It's really hard to make videos to not only provide education, but entertainment. And, you know, I'm not saying that I even know how to do it. I'm telling you just from my brief experiences trying to do videos, even to do like the level of quality I currently have with them, it's a lot of work. And so it's really difficult to do all that. And then arguably, which you're probably not wrong about, some people are just bad at it, right? Like they're still learning, or they truly don't know how to explain properly, or, you know, whatever, right? And the people who don't make videos because they're worried about being bad at it are the ones you never see. The ones who are willing to put themselves out there, whether they're bad at it or not, are the ones you see. And some of them you see are like the cream of the crop, and they're really good at explaining, and they do it at the right pace, and they found the way that gets people interested. And that's what we don't think about. Like, people don't think about that even for like game developers. And they look at a game that they either paid for or they played the demo, and the game doesn't meet that person's expectation. There's a bug in it, or it doesn't have the features they want. And the reaction is like, why, you know, how dare you not have this thing that I want in this game? You know, it's like, how dare you? And I don't hate people who do that, but the funniest thing about that to me is, if you see what game developers put into their products, which a lot of people, especially indie devs, do all their work after hours. Like, there's only so much time in the day. And even if you're a developer and you're like, it should be easy just to do this. Yes, you're not wrong. However, there's like a billion things. I'm the only coder on the project. Jacob, my partner on the effort, he can do some of the scripting type of stuff, and he can use like the node system, but he can't write the code. And as the only coder being responsible for the product that is released in terms of having early access, there's only so much I can do with my time. And I was sick with COVID. We had a couple events to go to. We had some localization work to do. And so I saw a post on our board where someone's like, why haven't you just implemented cloud saves? Why haven't you made the cloud save system? It's easy. You just go and do this stuff. Like, I'm aware that I could spend time doing it, but there are other things that are more important right now. It's the coolest Jellycar streamer. Cerebel. Yeah, I guess I haven't streamed Jellycar playing in a while. And I saw this post about the cloud saves, and like, yeah, it could be easy. I've tried it. It didn't quite work. I don't have time to investigate why it didn't work, but I can tell you with 100% certainty that if I release a cloud save system and it messes up someone's save, that's going to be a negative review. And if our save system works right now, I'm not equipped to risk that, because I can only do so much with my time. So anyway, sorry, I'm getting off on a complete tangent rant. I'm going to circle back and finish what I was saying about the Never Nester. When someone does this, when they do like guard clauses, the reason I'm opposed to guard clauses, never touch a running system, right? If it works, don't break it. And so you have to spend more time to do it properly. The more, like, if it's out there in the world, you can't just make changes. You've got to be methodical. You've got to test it. You've got to make sure you're not going to mess someone's stuff up and that there's a way to recover if it gets messed up. Anyway, so guard clauses, the reason I don't like these, and I've talked about this before, this legitimately, this type of thing where there's like if checking, return, there have been people who write code like this. Certainly there can be 3 different conditions that could make your method not need to execute anymore, so you return early. And someone like a quote unquote never nester would consider this value, would be fine with this. And the person that I watched, the video I watched, because I'm like, okay, I'm going to give this person a chance, right? I'm going to listen to what they say. Their reasoning was, well, that's fine. This is just the conditions of the method. I'll just scroll below it to see the body of the code. But the problem is that this model encourages, it's like dust bunnies encourage more dust bunnies. So anytime you touch a method where you have another condition you don't want to have to worry about, you add another one of these guard clauses. And I have seen like 4 different guard clauses. And so you end up having like half of your method is just a bunch of garbage. And then the person who's writing the code never has to learn how the code works. Because like, well, I'll just make it return early. I'm not going to bother with the rest of this code. And that's, for those people, that's fine. And it's my belief that if you want to be good at coding, you have to know how to read code. And you have to be able to understand how to write code. So you don't need guard clauses. And it's not that you don't need guard clauses. You certainly should have, like, if you want something, you should have like one level of nesting. If there's something you want to make sure, like, if this isn't true, then just return the default value, right? That's okay. But if you're getting into a case where it's like you're testing 5 different cases, there's something wrong with your method. And then ultimately, the real fact is, if you keep a different rule about keeping your method small, guard clauses don't matter and you don't need them. And the real rule then is just don't make large methods. And that's where I get hung up when I watch these videos of people saying, I'm a never nester and this is my way of coding. It's not because I really don't like them or their method. Like, I don't like their method coding, but it's that I think it's missing the point of what will make code better and more maintainable. And it's not freaking reducing, nesting everywhere. Yeah, that's what they call it. There's a whole video about, being a never nester. But like, even the name is a fallacy because they still nest their code. How important? Oh, by the way, important question. What do you prefer, mayonnaise or ketchup? Really important. There needs to be some context here. Just like if I were to eat it raw, if I was just gonna like squirt it in my mouth or whatever, or take a spoonful of it, or is it like associated with some other food? With fries, I would probably do ketchup. With a turkey sandwich, mayo. If I was gonna make a hamburger, I would do the Krabby Patty stack order, which includes mayo, I think. Maybe it does. Maybe I added mayo to the stack order, but it does have ketchup and mustard too. Okay. Anyway, total rant tangent. Should probably get back to work. It all started with I don't think I'd ever eat fries with mayo. I'd eat fries with ranch dressing, but not mayo. In fact, if I had ranch dressing and ketchup with fries, I'd probably use the ranch more than the ketchup. But if I had to choose between mayo and ketchup, definitely ketchup. What was I doing? I was trying to figure out my life choices. That's what it was, right? So it is execute Ready, execute. SQ, thank you for the follow. So are you just learning C++ or are you learning other languages? Like, you know other languages? Are you in school? So that was the correct answer. Oh, I'm glad I passed. So if I had said Mayo, you'd be like, no, I'm not following you. Only C++ because I find it so interesting. Are you into game development then? Because if you're doing C++, there's Unreal out there. Unreal. I don't know why I started singing that song. There's no reason. When we execute a battle command, so what I want to understand, where maybe there's something in here, recovery status info. That's interesting. I don't think I ever cleared that out. Command friend effect characters. I wonder. What are you using for your IDE? Are you using like Sea Lion or NetBeans, or I don't know what C++ IDEs are there out there. Please tell me it's not Notepad++. Okay, so this is aim skill effect. I think I did something with these actually. I like this. Friend effect. It's an F instead of an E. Last time I used C++, I used a trick where I never free memory. That's a pretty good trick. These days, there's lots of memory available. Visual Studio Code, right. That's what else. That's cool. Good starter IDE. Microsoft has done good things for development these days. It used to be absurd because in order to Microsoft was pay to win basically. When they kept everything so proprietary before they started doing open source stuff. And then you get all these people that are like Microsoft certified that didn't know what the heck they were doing. What is this? This is language. Maybe I should go translate it. Mati makes is a person. That's true. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling better. I couldn't even, like, to give you an idea of how sick I was up until recently. Saturday night, this time of night, I was like, I can't function. I'm not streaming. I wasn't gonna do it. And interestingly enough though, like after I decided not to stream, I decided to watch a movie and just relax. And then something at like 10 or 11 just switched and I felt better and I started coding. So I was like working on stuff and I stayed up too late. And then the next day I was feeling better. It was so weird. Like I was like, I can't stream. And then after I decided not to stream and then I was like, oh, okay, I'm good. Y'all stress me out too much with the streaming. All right, let me see here. So this is, I have a timing issue with my animations, and I just want to hunt down where this might be happening. I think what it is, command reaction type damage. That's for the target. That should be fine. I wonder if I actually do that in the attack. I think I do. So what I've done, in the previous streams, I was working on this this node system, right? So I remade the battle system in this node flow. I broke up all of their like crazy case statements into nodes. And now I'm refining them further into even more discrete nodes that are specific to the things that are happening. So now we have like this process attack. So that's the thing that actually creates the attack action. What I meant is I don't agree with someone in the role of a teacher telling people based off their preference there's only one way to do something. It made it hold on. Read. It made just starting out a lot harder for me and some of my friends. Yeah. All right, SQ, thanks for stopping, and I hope you have a good night. Like always, write comments. Write comments for every line. And thanks for the follow, SQ. Have an amazing day-night cycle. Yeah. I mean, I can't fault people for whatever approach that they use. It's not, it's, what I can fault is strict adherence to one way without openness to change. And actually the way that I've always dealt with it is I just say, listen, okay, I'll put the stake in the sand. I'll draw the line in the sand. Come tell me why I'm wrong. You know, help me prove myself wrong. And when I don't get that, when someone isn't able to, it doesn't mean even necessarily that I'm right because the sample size has grown, but doesn't mean that it's proven. But it does mean that there's more verisimilitude, like that word, to my point than, you know, maybe the at first blush. Like if I said, okay, here it is, this is what I think is right. Now tell me why I'm wrong and give me an example. Show me an example where you feel like my use case doesn't satisfy you. Because I can't invent every use case. So, you know, if you think of something where you're like, no, there's no possible way we can use your standard. Okay, let me show you. And then I'll help you see how this would work. And if the solution I come up with is valid and fits, you know, it doesn't like make the code worse, then it means that, you know, the way that I do it isn't bad, right? At least for that use case. But then, like, if I do encounter something where I'm like, you're right, it doesn't make sense in this case, just do it the other way, then fine. Right? Like, whatever. But, you know, the standards I've created aren't set up in a way that would really encounter that problem. Because my standards aren't, like, overly complicated or overly stupid. I don't like the Never Nester approach because I think that it hurts thought process on coding. I think it creates too simplistic of a view to encourage like thoughtful coding. It's just absurd. Like, and it's also not true because Never Nester would then never use any sort of nesting like if statement. But they do, right? I've even seen people say like, whenever possible, don't use brackets. So if you have a single if statement, just write the code like this. I guess presumably you could even just write the code like this, right? And I don't think that enhances readability of code. And to me, readability of code is extremely, extremely important. Being able to read what the code is and what the code is doing is important. And nesting actually creates or enhances readability provided you're not making 100-line methods. And so when you really get down to it, it's really about the size, the amount of reading you require. And it's all too often people code because of a personal style preference. And I would not say that I don't, like there are stylistic preferences that I have that don't make a difference in code. Like I don't like underscores to denote private methods or private properties. I mean, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. It's totally stylistic. But I don't like it unless it is strictly a convention of the language, where it's like, you know, the underscore actually denotes private as opposed to it just being a convention. Okay, so what is happening in here? When we try to do the animation, there's some reason Y. So we have set command effect. And this is just saying like what the effect is, which I do in the attack thing. Okay. And then in here, what is this one? Do I do this in the attack section? No. Maybe I missed that step. Process skill. Oh no, that's skill. Let me go to attack. A equals B. Yeah, ternary operators, right? Because my standards aren't based on whether someone who knows what they're doing can write and understand their own code. That is not in any way how my standards work. And perhaps that is really the crux of what I would say is the problem. So did I not do set command effect? This is display action effect. So maybe that's the problem. Maybe there's something in here that I did not do. My argument is that you need to code not to the lowest common denominator, but you need to code towards someone else reading your code, or even yourself reading your code later. Now, coding for yourself might be okay because someone who does ternary operators are naturally inclined to read them. But I code under the assumption that I'm not always going to be the person looking at my code. And therefore, not knowing the capabilities of the person means I would not ever put ternary operators because I have no idea if that person would be able to understand them. I personally don't like reading them either. There's lots of stuff that works but should never be touched because it doesn't make sense. Right, but I would also argue that there needs to be some effort to understand how code works. And, efforts to branch by abstraction to make something that makes sense that does the same thing. I would argue that is a thing that should happen. Okay, so I did not do... Okay, so I think I missed an important step in the code. There's this thing right here, the set command effect. Did I do this? Let's see, set player battle effect. Let me see. Pretty sure that's where I missed it, but I'm gonna double check. Yep. Battle execute command node. That's where I missed it. Okay. Okay, so then I wonder if I do that. Try return 7. Finally, return 8. Would it return? How would that work? What would it do? Would it return twice? Why would somebody do that? Why would you write code like that? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. That hurts my brain. Why would you do this to me? Okay, so what we're missing this code. Wait. Set command effect. We're missing set command effect. That's what we're missing. So in here, I must have like partially implemented this because I think I do. What calls set command effect? Yep, that's what I missed. Okay, but what the frick here? I did this part, I set that part, and then I missed the second half of this, where what it does is it goes over every target character and sets a command effect. But what is it doing here? That battle monster effect, if... Okay. Crap. If friend effect GUID is not empty... This is just for the targets. So these are the things that are being targeted. That player effect. Well, there's not going to be a friend effect in this game. Okay. For now, I'm going to try attack, and I'm just going to do... I'm going to steal this right now. I'm going to see what happens. So if I go back to the attack, where is it? Oops. That's my point. No touch. I mean, if you know it always returns 8, does it always return 8? Is that truly the extent of the code, or is it something a little bit more complicated? So if it always returns 8, then why can't you touch it? I would touch it all over the place. I get up in his business. I get really touchy-feely. Okay, so for each... I wonder why it doesn't do this together. I think it's because they were trying to do something like... clever? Maybe? Got like a cold sore on the inner part of my lip. Throw new runtime exception. Finally return 8. Does that also return 8? Is it going to throw the exception and then return? Like, an exception would show up in the logs, but then you'd still return a value? So it swallows the exception? That's glorious. Wow. See, I realized I was reading their code and I realized something. Their original battle system was one where you queue up all the actions and then everyone attacks, right? And so they have this thing called check and do retarget, and they have like this thing like, oh, if you become confused. It's because their battle system has to make decisions real time after you've decided what you want to do. And so like there's all this complication that doesn't have to be there because we're using like the turn-based attack. Like you attack, they attack, you attack, they... There's no possibility between when you decide to do an action and the action occurs for that action to change. So there's like all this extra code in here that just doesn't need to be here. So do they do a friend effect target here? No, I don't think they do. I think what they do is in here, right? The friend effect equals empty. Then they do a switch statement. If it was an attack, then the enemy effect GUID is also... Oh, interesting. So if I wanted to... This is where I got goofy here. Set battle monster effect. Oh. Okay. So then if I go to the... I don't know if this is going to solve the problem. It might actually make the animations work better. It'll be kind of crazy if this is what makes the animations work better, though. So it does all of the attack stuff. But I should be able to do it actually in this loop, because this loop is already going over the loop of the target. So we're going to do battle sequence manager, and then what's it? Crap. Is it the? Let me go back to the. Dang it! Why is it going back to that? I didn't go back to that. Why are you doing this to me? Oh, because I'm not in the battle sequence manager. That's why. Let's see. What does it do here? I think what it does is it gets the active character. Okay, so that's okay. So it's gonna do I think I can do battle sequence manager active character dot attack. Is that right? Something feels wrong about it. No, if it's attack or it's critical. Okay, we'll find out what it is. I wonder if my YouTube decided to stream too. I didn't intentionally set up a YouTube thing to go live. Doesn't look like I did, thankfully. I didn't have the energy for it tonight. Yeah, it's not live. It'd be kind of neat if I could just have it go live without like having to worry about it, but I don't know if these type of streams really make sense on YouTube. Am I in debug mode? Let me see. No, the debugger is technically like the debug mode of the editor is on, so the compilation, guys, this is technical term, not so good. I'm having some interesting times at work with my developers. I'm finally able to work with my developers again, and I'm realizing there's a little bit of a gap in education for my team. And so one of the arguments people make about ChatGPT is that you can't just use ChatGPT because it's not right. It doesn't always make the right decisions. And I thought it was self-evident that if you're going to use ChatGPT, you need to have some discernment on how you use it. But a developer showed me a schema they made that they said, oh, I just used ChatGPT for this. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty clear you didn't apply critical thinking to this. I said something like, it's okay to use ChatGPT, but then you need to apply some critical thinking to understand what it's trying to do and make intelligent decisions. Because they literally just took what ChatGPT gave them. And I'm like, well, the situation they were doing is they had like one table, but then they had all these they had this like foreign key reference that was only in a specific case. I'm like, you should probably use a join table. And the developer said, what's a join table? I'm like, oh, okay, well, if this is a learning opportunity, it's time to learn what a join table is. So what was I going to do? I was going to do attack. Well, the attack effect now shows up on the... But you notice the timing of it? It's like they get hit before the animation happens. So why does it do it that way? What is it? Is it literally just... Did they like hard code their timing? That's so interesting. So, where am I? I'm in the battle command effect. Is it because of display damage text? Maybe there's like a display command effect. Change battle state. This is the part that I don't understand. Is effect end play, right? Which is like end playing and monster drawer is end playing. I believe by default, like the first thing that happens is this returns true. But I don't know why. Well, I know this defaults to true, but where does is end playing get set? Is end playing equals why do they default it? I don't understand their logic. All right, let's see where this keeps going. Only using a billion places is totally fine. Drawer is end playing. Update player. Is end playing is true. See, I think they're doing it by frame. And I think there's like, because I like shortened the cycle, it literally made it all like, talk about, you know, a little bit of looseness, and they're like timing is so perfectly set up. If bool is initialized, return is end playing. There, I added a reason for it to be like that. So funny. That's the update method. Okay. So my theory is the value for is end playing doesn't get initialized in time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a debug breakpoint on each place where is end playing is called. So wherever this happens, doesn't matter. Is end playing is false. Because that's two places. I wonder if there's any other places where it sets it. So that's initialized. So those are the two places here. And then everything else, except for right here, but that's func effect. I don't think this gets called. I think func effect is a only a scripted thing. That's only if you're using a script event. There's only two places that gets called. Okay, well, I mean, theoretically, that means I should be able to test it. So then if I go into attack and maybe turn the debugger on, then I should be able to test this pretty quickly. Oh, look how slow it made that. Also, apparently the UI decided it. Right. So, okay, is end playing is false. Perfect. Then I need to go to display command effect. Oh, display action effect. Okay. So then let's see this in an instant replay. So play. Okay. False. Okay. So it's not ended yet. But I wonder if I can actually look at it go. Okay, there's the animation starting. The health bar starts going down before it should. Gotta work on that one. And then there's a timing issue between when this effect plays and when his attack happens. Okay. So there's a timing issue. Why is there a timing issue? It's because all of this is happening in the same frame? Maybe? Player effect drawer, monster effect drawer. I have a feeling that the problem is this one. Is it? Okay, let me try it again. I need to find out what's happening there. There's definitely a timing issue, but it should only happen after both effects are done playing. All right. Trying to do that. This is like, you ever got those cold sores? You just can't stop tonguing it. Sorry, I'm being weird. Stop being weird, Motzi. Okay, I don't want to play with your thing right now. All right. The meow. But all my targeting system is working. Like, this is all now my targeting stuff. I'm not using their targeting stuff. Yay. Okay. So this effect drawer is what? This is a effect drawer. Yeah, that's what it is. What type of effect drawer is it? That is the question. Can you tell me, please? This. It just calls itself an effect drawer. Well, who made it? Set battle effect. Well, there's your problem. Apparently, World RPG in a box is a problem. The monster battle effect is being set before. So dumb. Okay. So the the attack effect by the player isn't being set at the proper time. So where is set player battle effect supposed to be called? Or set, is it set player or set? Yeah. Where is this called? When is that called? No. It's never called. It's never nude. Never Nestor. Is it so? But what is the player's animation then? What is that thing? How come that is? Okay. So the problem is there isn't a player effect because the effect is what happens to the thing that the effect is happening on. Okay. So what makes the player animate? Not the battle effect. Got it. Okay, we're learning. So then, I mean, the animation's happening. The player is doing their attack. So what would it be? I think it's this, right? Like execute command start. I think this is the thing that does the action. I'm pretty sure it, excuse me. I'm pretty sure it is. I think in here there's like an execute action method. No, we go find out where it goes. So in here, this is where it gets really weird. Like, there's this action handler, but the action handlers are actually set up to be the same thing all the time. So they made an action handler, but it's always the same action handler. So I guess it's kind of interesting. There must be some, interesting reason they did this, for like reusability or something. So they get the actor. If it's an attack, then they play the motion. Okay. Is there anything that says when the motion is done? No, there's not. It's literally like a timed animation. Attack motion. Is there anything that indicates when it's done? Incidentally, this is where all the we don't have cameras right now, so like when you attack, there's no camera movement. Because it's like it's the way they do this is kind of weird, so I have to like dig into that at some point. So then how do we know when the action is done? So listen, like the way they have this set up, there's hey Killboy. I'm not gonna put you in the battle viewer code. That's where code goes to die. I'm gonna put you in the attack code. The attack helicopter. I didn't actually mean. I know that that's often used in a derogatory way. That's not actually what I meant. So just to be clear. 12:05. Why'd I do it that way? Should I do American dates? 12:05. 2023. Thanks, Killboy, for the resub. 28 months. Hoorah! Devil Dog. Wait, is it Cap? Hope you're doing well, Killboy. They say hoorah, right? Hoorah? Is it hoorah or is it hoorah? Hoorah? Probably hoorah. Right? I think the army does like hoorah or hooyah or something. So if you search for occurrences of Killboy in your code, you get 28 results. No, because I didn't start doing this 28 months ago. There's 21 9 matches. Because Killboy did things like gift subbed and stuff. You can look at the history of Killboy in here. You're in a lot of places in the code. Because whenever someone gift subs, I reference them as well. And in fact, like when Killboy's done like multiple gift subs, I don't put Killboy multiple times. I put Killboy once, and then each person that he subbed for. Okay. So the problem is, this is what the problem is. The way they wrote this code depends on additional frames of animation happening between each phase. So that's weird. I mean, like literally their timing is based on sequential code execution every frame. And the thing is, like, this display command effect doesn't happen until a frame later. Oh my god, Killboy. Here, I'll put you in the, I'll make you a guard. $2,023. Oh boy. Thank you for the 400 bits. Right? There's supposed to be something where I can, like, do something with the cheer. How do I... there's some, like, oh, you can pin cheers or something, but I don't see that option now, so maybe that's not what I... No, I already said oorah last time. You are a bit... boss. Hey, there you go. Thanks. I had the option. Oh, you had the option. Oh, okay. You could pin it if you want to. Okay. So, did I start the command effect here too? Oh, I didn't even do it. Oh yeah, I did. Execute command start. Okay. So where does execute command start? I need to go find out where that happens. It's not the most glorious thing to look at, but hey, I'm not the one watching me, so. Okay. Maybe it starts it sooner? Where is this happening? Ah. So they do their thing sooner. That's the problem. I'm not calling it soon enough. Because this is like one frame, then it does set status message text, which is a whole nother frame. And then it does set command, so it's 3 frames. Jiminy, oh no, it's 2 frames. So I could force the frames. I could force it to wait the extra frames. So I'm gonna have to make a new node, literally just for this garbage. Okay. Well, let's hold on. Before I do that, I'm gonna do like I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do like a thing. This is what I'm gonna do. A thing is what I'm going to do. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cheat. I'm not. This is not code that's gonna stay. So just relax. No, I can't do that actually. Guess I do have to put a node. Node. So if it's going to be in here, I'll do animation. So start action. Yeah. Yes, it's temporary, which means it'll be removed later after it's been fixed, by implementing properly. Give me the Kappa face, but that is actually a development approach that I have been refining over the years. I do go back and change code and re-implement proper solutions, for sure. I 100% do. Now, I wonder if 1 frame is going to be enough. Oh, come on. I don't think it's going to be enough, but what I could do is turn. I could cheat. So what I could do is execute command start, and then we do I want to do wait frame UI manager dot wait frame. Just wait like 2 frames. And see what happens. And then we just move forward. Okay. We'll go to process action node. I'll get rid of, I got rid of the command start. That's fine. See what happens. Let's YOLO this. Oh, I forgot to. But you could be implementing cloud saves instead of fixing this. Could be, but more people complain about our battle system than about cloud saves. It's sort of a domino effect because I really wanted to do cloud saves, but I needed to do the new UI work, and I needed to do a whole lot of localization work and setup, and I needed to implement a bestiary and a quest log. It's like there's just so many things. Now I could do cloud saves, but then I was thinking I kind of want to change the way the save system works. Because another big thing people complained about is that we didn't track a history of everything they did and prevent them from running into an issue where they didn't save and they lost some data. Because we as developers didn't make our save system work the way they expected it to. Which incidentally was one of our negative comments was someone played the game all the way to a point and they never manually saved ever. And then they like went back and loaded a new game with the same character and it overwrote their autosave. And so they gave us a negative review because our autosave system didn't anticipate a user never manually saving. How do you have time? I don't. I always fix forward. It's like falling upstairs. And like, I understand that maybe that wasn't what you expected, but like the disgruntled nature, like, listen, we have a save system that has slots for saving, and we have one autosave per character. But their reaction was like, I'm going to give this a negative review because these developers, you know, didn't save my save, and now I have to start over, and I don't want to do that. And they like refunded the game. You know, sometimes I wonder if people are just looking for excuses to give negative reviews. Oh, that didn't work at all. They don't even do anything now. What? Oh, right. I made the node and I never implemented it. I created. You gotta use the node when you make the node. Now the problem is that I have to. I don't actually like this, but I don't like this because now it's like I'm gonna have to put it in between each one. That's why I kind of wanted to tie it to this or something. You also do rage reviews? Like, I don't know. I wouldn't give a negative review to an early access game because it's early access. It's just give it positive reviews. It's just like, Doesn't make any sense. Oh my god, someone made a game that's in early access and the game isn't completely polished. That's what early access was about. He works perfect. What? I added it. Let me go back here. Did I not do the active character thing? Back to I gave Cookie Clicker a positive review because it consumed my life. Really? Did it take a bite out of your life? You thought you'd chip in to the Cookie Clicker game? I've been trying some games lately, but they always have to be something that doesn't take a lot of my time. So I found this game. There's a YouTuber named Dangerously Funny. Now I've noticed like a lot of his videos or their videos are a lot similar. I don't watch as much, maybe other people do, but every once in a while I like some of the things they're playing. And they were playing a game called Super Auto Pets. So I thought I started playing that a little bit. I found out it's on the phone, so like even more fun. I don't have to play on my computer. That's a fun little game. It doesn't consume a lot of my life, and I can do a little bit here and there. That's fine. And then I knew about this game, but I watched Dangerously Funny play it, and I'm like, oh, I want to try it out. A game called Stacklands. I thought would be fun. The bus is OP. Not really. Honestly, I haven't won with the bus as much as other things. But everyone has their own style. You know? Why the flip is the attack not happening? I mean, it's hitting the node. There's something else that had to be set. I was setting it down here. It could be because the selected battle command type isn't set. No, but it... Start. Execute command start. Played elements none. I don't need to check and do retarget. I think it's because of the battle command type. Well, that's annoying. So I don't really care about this one though. What I need to do is have like a 2-stage action here. I need to start the playing of the animation, and then after 2 frames, do this. How am I going to do that? I know how I'm going to do that. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to refactor this out. So we're going to say refactor, reduce, reuse, and close the loop. Extract method. Extract method. New method. Then we're going to go to our start action animation node, which turns out we don't need this anymore. We're going to steal our wait frame logic. And then now we don't care about can continue. Instead, just for readability, steal this method, put it in there. So now we make it wait for 2 frames, and then it does this execute action. And then we're going to do and continue here. All right. So that way, if it does have to like loop through this, it'll only return and move to the next node once it's done. Okay. So theoretically, this might work. 60% of the time, it'll work every time. If it's true, it's a pattern I'd have to keep reusing. Unless I find a different way. I don't like that I have to put that call in every place. I want to find a way to like not have to do it that way. But... what is this music? That's weird. This is my dance mode while we wait for the script assemblies to reload. Someday I need to learn about compression. You know that our early access build is 10 gigabytes? Someone called me out on it. Why is your build 10 gigabytes? And I said, because I haven't looked into the level of compression proper to make everything work as we expect. And their reaction was kind of like, fine, I guess. It was almost like they were annoyed that I didn't have a better answer. I was like, listen, the least of my concerns right now is whether a build is at the optimal number of gigabytes. Yes, it can be optimized. Not a priority. Do people just think like development is just, you just sit down and write a game and then the game is done? How many times you need to run code that works 60% of the time for it to become reliable? I don't know. Go ask the question on They Did the Math. The updates aren't 8 gigabyte updates. The patch size is really small because we don't make a lot of changes. But the first download is a lot. Damn it! Attack! Why won't you attack? Why is it doing this? Oh wait, I know why. I never actually put the execute command start back. Why won't you do the thing? Because I didn't set you up. Damn it. Now we gotta wait for another build. I mean, you know, I certainly am going to have to get the build down the size. There's a lot of inefficient ways in which we turned off compression for all of our images, because there's something weird that was happening, and I just didn't want to deal with fixing it. So all the images in the build are uncompressed. And the video player compression is also probably not optimal. So we do have a video. The intro is a video. And we have 340 scenes in the game. Uncompressed as in our build settings, we have max texture size, no override, no override, texture compression, none. I thought I had forced uncompressed. Interesting. Whatever. It used to be forced uncompressed, I think. I don't think they're all BMPs. They're PNGs. There was something weird happening with mix mapping, and rather than go and like, because of the way it imported, rather than go and like fix every asset to not use mip mapping because we don't need to, I just turned off compression entirely. Don't want to deal with it. That's a little better. Nope, that's not better. Damn it. Maybe add more frames. I'm going to give this 10 frames. 10 frames between when it starts and when it can continue. Come on, build. You got this, build. You got this. You can do it. I might keep it shorter tonight. I might stop around 10:30 or so. Not tired exactly, but I need to be more cognizant of getting to sleep at a regular time. Oh no, I'm out of tea. Let's not drink water. So apparently the RPG in a Box developer is going to be releasing a really big update soon. And I was thinking like I should do one day of streaming where I just do my entire tutorial system I was supposed to do. And I'll just record as a stream the entire tutorial in one go and then just chop it up into I don't think it'll work, but that's about as much time as I mean, you know, I could work on cloud saves. 488-hour day. Yeah, I'm gonna sneeze. That COVID everywhere. Oh, there we go. That was a good sneeze. Just like COVID all over the place. His animation's better, but that one's not. I'm gonna sneeze again. Thank you. Sneezes. I'm very sneezy. Sorry for. Apparently, also I forgot to unmute. I don't think it displays a message for every attack. If it's sleep, paralysis, confusion, or fascination, then it will display a message. Otherwise, oh, then to set command message text. Wait, huh? Yeah, set command message text. Okay. Is also just doing message formatting and displaying it. Then it's display message text. Okay. This battle state frame count is greater than 20. Oh, look at this. Okay. This is what it is right here. Maybe. So this has to be what it is. Okay, so this process action. What I could do, wait for, thank you. There's a waiter and there's a callback. Waiter, check please. So we're gonna put the waiter here. And the waiter is gonna be stop. Here. Okay. So now this waiter, this wait for now is I mean, I am introducing a coroutine, which is good or bad. I don't really need a coroutine here. I could do it without it, but I want to do it anyway. I just want to see if this will freaking work, okay? That's it. I just want to see if it'll work. Why is it doing that? Look at that. Oh my god. Please stop. Okay. So theoretically now this will solve this problem. It wasn't waiting for the actor to be ready. That was the problem. Code that seems to work. Is pretty nice, yeah. I was talking about how I was working with my developers today. I spent a long time with my devs today. And I'm pretty sure I left them very unhappy with me. Because they were showing me some... one of the more junior devs that actually went to college. Like, a number of them went to college. But there's like a young, just out of college developer who's excited about new things and like doing diagrams and stuff. Which I thought was funny. And I had this little like angel devil Motzi. Because they were doing like just way overkill diagramming. And I remember being younger and like wanting to diagram everything and thinking that would make my code and solutions better, which it doesn't, right? And I just remember like, should I be critical of their diagramming? And eventually I said, it's a lot, it's good, everyone should do it. And the reality was like, I'm okay with them practicing diagram because you need to know how to use diagramming. But I just thought it was a bit overkill. It's like, yeah, but I used to do that too. And like people, when they're really into diagramming, they think that they have to follow some really strict standards of UML diagramming. This is the proper way to do it. and it's just not. Why is it still hitting them before? I mean, the animation's like marginally better. That one's not going to be better. Okay. I don't think you need to do diagramming. I think knowing some things about diagramming standards isn't bad. Maybe there's like a waiting thing that needs to happen here. If I say execute command start, I don't think it might. Did I put a timer and wait for? So I'd also try this. Just take it out of that and see if it works. And continue should be false so that code executes. See if this actually triggers. I always use the hammer. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that there's value to diagramming, but the one thing I remember hearing when I was younger developer was diagramming's fine, but focus on diagramming to enhance clarity. Don't follow some UML standard of diagramming because that's the standard. And I had this funny thought today, was like, yeah, and most developers don't even know what UML standards are. So like the whole effort you put is going to be completely lost on them if what you're defining is too detailed and they don't know what it means, right? Like if you provide something that's overly complicated in a diagram, they're not going to understand it anyway. So instead, focus on, are you pointing up at the fact that you still use a hammer? Hammers are pretty understandable. Hit it until it starts working. When all you have is a hammer, everything starts looking like a nail. It's their fault for not understanding? Yeah. How dare you not understand my code, my diagram? How dare. Oh, it's a smiley, okay. How dare you not figure out exactly what I'm trying to say by this really complicated diagram that I'm. I do appreciate that just stopped. So there's this weird thing, like when the debugger's on, that it's like trying to trigger a breakpoint somewhere, but I have no idea where the breakpoint is. I don't know what it's trying to trigger. Like it tries to stop a breakpoint, but it didn't find anything. Okay. So, will this return true? Will it blend? That is the question. Yes. So it didn't give this enough time to have the next thing happen. There's another problem where, like, because can continue isn't true, this thing is going to keep executing. Damn it. Their timing is freaking obnoxious. Um. Well, I think here. So in their code here, I might be able to choose something different here. So I might be able to just go back to where I was. Put that thing back where it came from. Marcel, help me. I might be able to return true here. And then go to the next thing that's supposed to happen, which is display action effect node. I might be able to just add that here. I want to put the ands on the front or the back. I don't remember. Do I put them on the front or the back? I think actually I put them on the back. The end. That's where I put them. Maybe. Luckily, I don't have to make UI for my games, so I don't have to deal with animations. You don't make any UI for your game? Oh, you don't. You don't make UI. Yeah. That's one way to solve your problem. Never use UI. But then we go back to the classic problem that, you know, experienced game devs would say is, why are you using someone else's code? Why didn't you just build this from scratch? Why didn't you just build it the first time your own way, the right way? That's what I want to know. Why are you such a bad developer? That's what they usually say. I say because I like pain and punishment, obviously. I like to torture myself. That's why. That's why, baby, baby, baby. That's why I like to write me some code. If this makes the timing work, that'll be a good time for me to stop. Honestly, if it doesn't make it work even, because I've been cycling on the same thing. Tells me my brain capacity is diminished. Still not fully recovered from this whole COVID thing. I mean, it kind of works. I mean, it's not... it's still not fucking working. The timing is, like, marginally better. I give up. Right now, I give up for now. There's going to be something that I'm going to like, oh, right, I need to do this one stupid thing. But the timing is weird still. I'm sure it has something to do with this, like, is ready actor thing. What does this even do? Is current actor ready? What? Look, it even has the word attack here. That's funny. It literally has, like, what does it say? Check if there are any characters whose attack has not completed its preliminary action. That's funny. You want to replace the fix later either way? Yeah, I mean, if I'm able to move it up into the display one, it actually is much nicer. It'll be much better in the end. Because then I actually don't have to... it'll be what the solution is. I feel like it still has something to do with, like, the fact that it does something. There's like just a natural built-in set of frames that cause it to have just the right amount of timing. But anyway, That's fine. That's neither here nor there. I think this is a good stop point, so I'm going to wrap up. Like, as my wife would say, a tortilla. Should we go raid somebody? Thanks for hanging out, Ms. Arabelle. I appreciate it. I appreciate your presence and your chatting. It's fun to chat while working. Fun to whistle while you work. Whistle while you work. Let's go see Stoff. Haven't seen him in a while. Just beware, this channel isn't intended for mature audiences. You all have the loveliest of nights. Should be back on Saturday. I should be fully recovered enough, so I'll see y'all then. You were faster? See y'all. Have a good night.